Yeah. Come on now. I'm missing too. I love that.
I so national.
There you go. We had one. Yeah.
Just
All right, I'll call this meeting to order. We'll start with a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Okay, Camilla, can we have a roll call of members, please?
Mr. Francis, Mrs. Irwin Adams, Mrs. McGinnis, Mr. Mignon,
Here.
Mr. Cook,
Here.
Mr. Pacifico, Mr. McCauley,
Here.
Mr. Pappas,
Here.
Mr. Romanowitz.
Here.
Okay, before we get started, I'd like to announce that prior to this meeting, we had an executive session to discuss personnel issues. Moving forward, do we have any citizens wishing to address the board? Doesn't look like we do, so we won't pretend. Next, I will be seeking approval of minutes for our regular board meeting of June 17th of this year. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Would anybody like to discuss anything related to those minutes? Okay, all in favor of approving those minutes, please state or please signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. Moving to finance, we have a list of payments. Pretty substantial list, as I recall, because we have June and July in there. We have an agreement with Preferred Benefits Specialist Administrative Support Agreement. That's an agreement for them to support the health plan offering to sort of do the customer service for the school district. We also have approval of the IU8 agreement for the school age education services effective August 1st of last year through July 31st of this year. This agreement was not sent by the IU until July of 2024. And D, we have Title IX license agreement. It's a training agreement and an invoice for the training through the IU8. I don't think we need to take any of those out individually, so I would ask for somebody to make a motion to approve items A through D under 4 finance. Do I have a motion? Second, anybody? Moved and seconded. Would anybody like to discuss any of these items? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have the first reading of a policy, or I'm sorry, several policies I'm the chair of the policy committee. We went through many policies at that last meeting. And most of them were related to suggestions made by the PSBA or other entities. Nothing unique or nothing specific to the school district, just general updates of policies. And then we also have a final policy reading related to conflict of interest. Again, I read it. It's just a change of language suggested by these entities. So I would seek a motion to approve items A and B under policy. Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss any of these policies? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No one. Okay. Carries. Special shout out to Nick for providing me a mouse, making it easier for me to navigate. Next, we have items 6A through Q, quite a list. A is the Blair Senior Services Foster Grandparent Program Memorandum of Understanding. Next is administration seeking approval to continue to work with Ignite and Learning Lamp Learning as the third-party provider to provide Title I services at the Great Commission School, not to exceed 8,000. Next, there's some travel that needs to be approved for Shauna Myers. D is an affiliation agreement. Administration requests approval of the attached 5-year affiliation agreement between AASD and Penn West University. E is a memorandum of understanding with Penn State Center for Childhood Obesity Research. F, administration requests retroactive approval to submit the organ and tissue donation awareness grant in the amount of $999. Funds will be utilized to support professional learning for the phys ed teachers and graduation ropes for all organ donors. Next, under G, we have the Andrew Klein Special Education Consultant Agreement. Administration requests approval for Andrew Klein to continue as a consultant for the school district to serve as a special education department consultant. H is administrative requests approval to renew the purchase of Savvis and Vision 7th and 8th grade mathematics curriculum not to exceed $143,000 to be paid from various grants in the curriculum budget. I is administration recommends Board of School Directors approval of the Altoona Area Junior High School ATSI plan for the 24-25 school year. J is a request for approval of the agreement with the Altoona Area School District Fine Arts Boosters. Under K, administration requests approval of the attached contract with Nick Sunshine Talkman to serve as a speaker at the Altoona Area Junior High School on Monday, September 30th, 2024. The fee will be paid from the Junior High School Activity Fund. Looks like an interesting guy. Looks like it would be a entertaining event for the kids. Under L, there's a list of secondary field trips. I believe there was only one field trip on there. M is a letter of agreement. Administration requests approval of the attached 1-year 24-25 agreement between AASD and FiCycle Financial Life Cycle Education. Cost is not to exceed $4,600. I think that's a tremendous program. I'm glad to see it come here. Is that for all students at what level?
It's an elective right now at the high school level. However, we are working with the state on incorporating financial literacy. We already have some pieces of it, but a standalone or integrated piece into junior high and high school curriculum for all students.
That's awesome. That's a great program. N is administration requests approval to enter an agreement with FOSS Pathways to purchase grades kindergarten through fifth grade science curriculum resources not to exceed $575,000 to be paid from various grant and curriculum accounts. This agreement also provides online access for 7 years. O is a memorandum of understanding. Administration recommends the approval of the renewal of that memorandum for services of a certified school nurse. P, administration submitted a list of volunteers for us to approve. All clearances and TB tests have been received. Q, Marissa Hurd has completed the AASD new teacher induction program for 22-23 school year. So that's basically just an informational thing. So I would be seeking a motion to approve items 6A through P.
So moved.
Q, do we have to approve Q? Okay, sorry, A through Q.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, anybody?
Second.
Second from Justin. Would anybody like to discuss any of these specifically? Okay. All in favor of approving items 6A through Q, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 7, under personnel, if I recall, was like 21 pages of stuff. It's quite a lot. I'm seeking a motion to approve all the items on the personnel agenda under 7A. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Would anybody like to discuss any items on this lengthy agenda, personnel agenda? No? Okay. All in favor of approving item 7A, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Under 8, business operations. Administration requests and recommends approval of the following sponsor-to-sponsor agreements for meal services in the 24-25 school year. Those are Child Advocates of Blair County and Adelphi Village. Under B, administration requests and recommends approval to increase the adult meal breakfast price to $3. The price increase is necessary to be in compliance with funding regulations. Seems like a good deal when the Grand Slam is now $17 at Denny's or somewhere. C, police service weapons. Administration requests permission to disposition decommissioned service weapons by sale to Act 235 certified officers, security personnel. Sale price is to be determined by authorized reseller. Reseller will also possess paperwork to transfer proper registration of weapons. D, administration requests and recommends approval to install a new scoreboard on the baseball field located at Mansion Park Stadium. Equipment delivery and installation cost at a price not to exceed $23,000, including contingency. Scoreboard sponsor contract with Sheets Incorporated will begin September 1st, 2024 and end August 31st, 2029. Annual payments in the amount of $4,000. And as usual, thank you very much to the Sheets Corporation who supports this school district tremendously. So it should be noted. And Coach Smith will be happy. E, repository bids. The Blair County Tax Claim Bureau has received and is requesting approval of the following repository bids. And you can read them on your agenda. I don't think you want me to read all of them. F, is the administration requests approval to award winter sports equipment purchases to the following vendor. Looks like a total of 5,528, and the bid is there. G is to approve capital reserve list of payments. It wasn't a large list. And under H, capital projects list of payments for approval. I think there were some big ones on there if I recall. I, administration requests approval of the following Amtrak bus drivers for the 24-25 school year, contingent upon receipt of all required clearances and forms. The roster is attached. J is healthcare coverage plan audit. Administration requests and recommends approval of contracts with 2 firms to perform audits of the district health coverage plan. Conrad Siegel will perform an independent actuarial review of the plan with focus on medical pharmacy, stop loss, administrative expenses, consulting fees, and broker commissions. This service will be billed at an hourly rate with a total cost not to exceed $75,000. Med bill management will audit both medical and pharmacy claims to verify compliance with plan contracts. Additionally, Med bill will query claims for potential errors, including but not limited to duplicate claims, eligibility, and pricing. The fixed fee for this service is $43,000. Med bill does have a return on investment guarantee, making the service cost neutral. K, administration requests approval of the following STA bus drivers for the 24-25 school year, contingent upon receipt of all required clearances and forms. The list is attached. And under L, administration requests and recommends entering contracting with Provident Energy for natural gas distribution. Basis rate for the period August 2024 to June 2027 at a rate not to exceed 40, is that 40 cents? Negative 40 cents. And what does DTH stand for? Does anybody know that? I did not know. All right. So at negative 40 cents per decatherm. All right. All right. So seeking a motion to approve items 8A through L.
So moved.
Anybody with a second?
Second.
Being moved and seconded, would anybody like to discuss any one of these items? Okay. All in favor of approving items 8A through L, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Who did chime in? I'm sorry. Oh, it was Bobby. Welcome, Bobby. So we move on to new business. We have items 9A through D. Under 9A, we have motion to approve agreement with parents of student 959435 in the district and to authorize the board president to sign any necessary paperwork to effectuate same. Item B, administration recommends approval for the Central Blair Recreation and Park Commission requesting a $15,000 allocation for their 2024 budget. 9C, administration recommends retro approval for the Appalachia IU8 to use the AAHS auditorium on Tuesday, July 9th. 2024 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for Title IX training. Fees will be waived and certificate of insurance will be provided. 9D, administration recommends approval for Logan Township Police Department to use the Sheets Center at Mansion Park for their physical agility test on Saturday, August 10th of this year from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. seeking a motion to approve items 9A through D.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Being moved and seconded, all in favor of approving items 9A through D, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Under 10, committee reports, committee chair reports. Anybody have a report from their committee, any committee chairs? No, I don't. Board president's report, I have none. Mr. Hatch, do you have a superintendent's report?
Just very briefly, obviously, we are at August 5th and the start of school will be happening soon. So I'd encourage our parents to please be looking for communications regarding start of school year, schedules and calendars, and also information going out regarding students and parents having the opportunity to come in, visit our buildings, meet our teachers, have their orientations. I know we have an incoming 6th grade orientation coming up very soon. That's a very important part of our students' transition as they move into the next school year. Definitely adds to their comfort level, and I'm sure they're excited to get reacclimated with their friends. 2 quick thank yous. One to the Sheets Corporation, once again, for their very generous donation that can help fund a scoreboard at Mansion Park. And also to the school district on behalf of the Alton Area Senior Baseball League. They were willing to host at Mansion Park. Part of the Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament, which the Altoona entry did win and will be advancing to the World Series in Texas. I know that team will be leaving this week. So thank you very much for your generous utilization and sharing of the facilities. And again, the more that we can highlight what we have here to offer in the Alton Area School District, we are very lucky to have what we have in our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hatch. Do we have an employee union's response? I don't see anyone. Middle management? No. Mr. Beard, solicitor?
Real quick, there's going to be a special ed symposium. It's our annual conference in cooperation with Penn State School Study Council. There's going to be a number of individuals there that are interesting. We're bringing back Steve Cashmar just to throw out some things, best practices. We're actually going to have Andy Klein come in and give a view from the trenches of a former 18-year hearing officer and a former special ed director. We're bringing back Charles Jelly, who's a special ed hearing officer, to just go over, and I think it's a very timely topic because virtually every school district encounters this, but it's manifestation determinations, it's child find, it's threat assessments, but also dealing with dangerous and disruptive youth, because we see more and more of this in the school setting. And the hearing officer, I believe, can provide a little more guidance, suggestions, best tips, et cetera. Naturally, I will be there. And we're bringing back a parent's attorney just to give you a little bit of an idea. So when you go to meetings and they make a whole lot of demands, give you a different perspective of what they're seeking. So this is a great program for supervisors, directors, particularly principals, and school psychologists.
Thank you.
September 11th. I think it's locally at the intermediate unit, and probably be an online option as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beard. With that being said, I will seek a motion for adjournment. Do I have a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.